Hello everyone, greetings of the day to all of you, wherever you're joining in from. Today, it is my pleasure to invite a mentor for today, Mr. Vijay Praveen. He's the founder and CEO at BitsCrunch. He will conduct this session today. Uh, Vijay has been into data analytics and AI for quite some time now, and in the blockchain has come his way. And when it came, he created BitsCrunch, an AI-enabled decentralized data analytics and forensic protocol. I hope I got that right. So we all know about the brilliant start that BridgeConch had on CoinList. It was a fundraise that broke records. So many congratulations to Vijay and his team and the entire BridgeConch team. Just to let you all guys know that Vijay is also on our mentor panel on Pivot, who will be guiding the startups that we're working with at Accelerate. Thank you, Vijay, for doing this for us and all the way from Brussels. All over to you now, sir. Please go ahead. I'll keep myself mute and I will shut up my video. All yours.
Yep. So thanks. Yes. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me here on one of your sessions. It's a pleasure to be here. Talking not just to the Pivot community, but also to the broader blockchain community. Because I see you guys are evolving nicely. You have had what 2 or 3 sessions before me, right? I guess
We had
this
four
is
sessions before it.
third or fourth session, if I'm not wrong.
We had four
Been
sessions before.
following Pivot in all the socials. 4 sessions. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So yeah, glad to be one of the mentors in the program, and I'm also giving this masterclass all about data and AI and the narrative around blockchain. So a little intro about myself, Vijay Pavan, originally from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, but then living in Munich, Germany for the last 11 years. So it's been more than a decade of life in Germany. If Oktoberfest rings a bell, that's where I currently live. But today I'm taking this session from Brussels. I am at rest today officially, but then I decided to stay back. Had a couple of VC meetings, so I just thought I'll find a good place after back-to-back meetings to have this amazing session. So yeah, worked for Volkswagen and Siemens. I came to Germany to do my master's degree. I did my master's in electrical engineering. Worked for Siemens and Volkswagen, two big OGs, I would say, in the Web2 space. And then I started BitsCrunch amidst pandemic. So we crunch each and every bits of data, right? So crunching the data is one of the common terms in blockchain. So we wanted to make blockchain understandable, blockchain human readable, right? Right now, blockchain is chaotic. It's all over. Not a lot of people can understand blockchain. And we have so many chains coming up every week. We have Solana, Polygon, Avalanche, Binance, even Bitcoin is chain by itself, where ordinals and inscriptions are now a thing, right? It's not just about the financial value Bitcoin has. People are also exploring a lot of protocols on top of Bitcoin. So every week there is a new chain. There is Blast. There is Mode. There is Bera chain, which is coming out. So as a layman, as an end user, I see a lot of people here, Robert, Rohit, Santosh, Saurabh, and Abhishek from all over the world. So how many people can understand all the chains, right? If you look at chains, some are EVM based, like Ethereum, but some are uh, Rust, like Solana, it's a non-EVM chain. Cosmos is a different thing. So as a data company, we aim to decode everything. We put it into a layman's perspective, and that's what we are doing at BitsCrunch. We have raised close to $12 million, which is also something that I can share with you guys and not just talk about the data after the session. So feel free to get in touch with me for raising funds or knowing the nitty-gritties of how to pitch. That is also something that I can help with. And yeah, backed by Coinbase Ventures and Imoca brands, Polygon, Chainlink, Hashkey Capital, Borderless Capital, and so on. So we are backed by some of the brilliant minds in the space. Grateful to have such an amazing lineup. And then continuously building, we hit CoinList. We did a CoinList sale, and then now we are listed across 15 chains like Bybit, KuCoin, Gate, and so on. Listed at 5 cents, went all the way up to 50 cents, and now back to the full circle because you know the market. But regardless of the token price, we just keep our heads down and focus on building. So now more onto the data, and for me, I prefer doing sessions in an interactive way. So I might throw a question here or there, just to make sure that you guys are listening because it's a Friday. It's a Friday afternoon in a lot of places. For me, it's 1:44 here in Brussels. So may I know where are you guys joining in from? Maybe you can drop a text on the chat. Is chat enabled?
Yeah, the chat is enabled, Vijay. They're all
Yeah,
there
yeah.
chatting with me. And I think the
Oh,
first
okay.
issue was, they were talking about you having a network glitch or something. There was a very low bandwidth
Ah,
at your place. But now we can hear you
okay.
properly. We can see you as well.
Okay, okay,
Earlier on, there
okay,
was a
okay.
issue. Please, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, a couple of Delhi guys.
There's somebody
So
who's in Anna is from Dubai. Yeah, of course, Anna. India,
oh,
mostly
okay,
India. Yeah, but yeah, of course, there are people from
okay.
mostly
Mhm.
India. And but there's
Okay,
Anna
okay,
coming in from Dubai. Welcome, Anna.
okay, okay. Saurabh is from Bangalore.
Okay, there's somebody from
Good.
Dubai, some Zoom user.
Dubai. Hmm.
Okay, Dubai. I'm very happy.
Good. Okay. So a few Delhis, Delhiites, and the
Hello,
Bangalorean and
Delhiites.
of
I'm
Dubai.
from I'm from Gurgaon near Delhi. So yeah.
Okay.
Dennis
Oh,
is joining in. Hi, Dennis. Where are you
Dennis.
from?
Hi, Dennis.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you on mute, Dennis.
Hi. You want to
Berlin,
just.
Germany, and I have nothing to do with the
Oh.
50K sell-off. Sorry, I apologize for my government.
Good, good. So
Same,
yeah,
same,
thanks for clarifying.
same, same here, Dennis. I mean, I live in Germany for the last 11 years, and this is the first time ever in my life that I feel bad about living here in Germany because when Bitcoin uh, was when German government decided to sell Bitcoin, people were asking me why, and they were lecturing me. It's not-
But to clarify, there's a
Okay,
law.
so yeah.
There's a law that they have to sell it off because it's confiscated goods, and they have to sell it off within whatever month. So right now, they're just basically following their own law.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Good to have
Yeah, I
someone
think
from Germany.
just to
Or
clarify,
I think they.
your bandwidth is still slightly slow. So I will shut down my
Oh,
video as well. So please go
okay.
ahead and
Yep.
stage is yours again,
Sure.
sir. There are a lot of people joining in from
Sure.
Chhattisgarh and
Sure.
other
Sure.
places
Sure.
and all. Thank you.
Sure. 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 So yeah, thank you. So yeah, I mean, since my bandwidth is low, probably guys over the call, you can also switch off your camera just to make sure that you listen me and you see me properly. So I mean, thanks again for tuning in from all over. I could see people from Germany, from Dubai, and from India. So I'll start now. I'll explain about the importance of data, AI in blockchain. But maybe before I start, if you have any expectations on how or what are the topics that you want to learn in this session, you can drop it as a text. And in the meantime, I'll pick it up as I proceed. So the first one. So AI, right? AI has been the talk of the town, right? With Chat GPT, Sam Altman, and boys crunching out there, people were realizing the importance of data, right? So for Chat GPT and all the similar applications, data is the primary oil, right? People say data is the new oil. That is absolutely true because if you look at all the Fortune 500 companies, like just look at the top 10 Fortune 500 companies. Forget about the Web3. If you look at Google, Microsoft, Meta, Twitter, Tesla, and all the big names, everyone relies heavily on data, right? We don't pay for Google, we don't pay for Facebook or Twitter, because for them, we are the we are the product, right? Because our time is their money. So such is the importance of data. People leverage a lot. They have made a lot of money over the last couple of decades using data. And now with Web3, that the power to decentralize data, the power of decentralization actually enables value accrual not just on one end, but it actually accrues on multiple fronts, right? So uh, think of it now. Now our time is being monetized, and it is actually going into one centralized entity. But with centralized entity, with decentralized entities, it is actually bound to go to the Dennis and Akshats and Saurabhs and Vijay's of the world, where we get some financial instrument back. It is not just about the financial instrument, but we also get value attached for the time that we spend, right? So what are the common data firms that you guys are aware of in the space? So any names that you can drop over the chat? Any data layers, so I'm sure people are aware of a lot of data layers and data protocols. So would love to understand if people are actually into data. So yes, Saurabh, you're right. Tune and nonsense, right? So yes, data layer has been the luck of the town during the last bull run. Mesari is one, Ashkan, thank you. A lot of people realize the importance of data because there are so many protocols, so many chains, so many layers, so many applications. How can someone read that, understand that, and make charts? And that is where dunes and nonsense and Mesaris came into the picture. And that's also when BitScrunch joined the bandwagon, right? We raised our first round in 2021, 2022, sort of that range. And then we entered the bear market, uh, and then we kept building. That was the beginning of us as BitScrunch. We started initially as a data layer. Maybe I can share my screen to also, so maybe you guys can tell me if you can see the screen. I hope you can. Yes, Dennis, you can give me a thumbs up because I see you on the screen. Yeah, cool. So we started as an NFT data network, and we wanted to decentralize data. Right now, the names that you dropped, Masari, Nansen, or Dune, they are centralized, right? They do the top-down approach, but we wanted to go bottom up, where we wanted to decentralize the data access. And let me tell you why and how. So what we did is we wanted to be the forensics layer of NFTs. I mean, NFTs is not at its peak. I clearly understand that. But then that's where we started. And I'll also show you how we are navigating the current market scenario, right? So we wanted to create a network. So it's not a centralized entity which can actually decide. I mean, as a CEO, I can actually decide which chains to index next, which protocols to be indexed next. But we wanted uh, to stick to the decentralized ethos, and that's when we wanted to do a decentralized approach. So obviously we have node operators, right? 50 plus node operators are currently running our nodes. So meaning our data is centralized and will be decentralized further as we progress. And then those who cannot run nodes, they can delegate. They can delegate the tokens by sort of betting on the node operators who provide high uptime and accuracy of data, right? And there are indicators in the journey who can actually help us in signaling which blockchains to scan next, what are the metrics they want to see in the network, and the community can also contribute to the network. I'll explain all these roles in detail. I'll show you how it can be done, what is done right now. So consumers, they can use our data, they can query the data. And um, so what we do on the NFT side of things, we look at the forensics part where NFT is an NFT, right? It's an image. So people can actually, okay, so people can actually right click, save it as an image, they can actually make copies out of it. So that is something that we can stop, we can prevent in the NFT space. And we also work with some of the big names. We work we work with Mastercard, for example. We work with EY, Ernst and Young, which is one of the big fours. We were actually graduates of Ernst and Young's Web3 program from Frankfurt, Germany, and then we were part of Mastercard's Web3 program from the US, right? So we started with NFTs as a space, but like I said, this is the I wouldn't say pivot, but this is the expansion that we're making. So we are actually broadening to the whole blockchain narrative. And it is not just about indexing NFTs anymore, but we are also looking into gamify analytics and the forensics elements. And that's where I would love to show you some stats which can help you understand why decentralization is important here. Right? If you look at things, 50 node operators are operating the nodes, meaning we don't have to rely on the Googles and Amazons of the world forever. Yes, we started as a centralized point in the picture, but now we are decentralizing the whole network. So if you look at the node operators, there are some really good ones. Look at Inkstones, one of the big names, or their Cookies Global, and there are some really good node operators like Luga nodes, Big Nordic, and Chainbase. Some of these node operators run nodes for Aptos, Sui, and Chainlink. So some of the best projects in the world. And delegators. So people like you and me, we cannot afford nodes, right? We cannot have the infrastructure in our everyday's life. So what do? So they can actually delegate their tokens to the node operators. They can actually pick and choose node operators and delegate the tokens, right? And this is actually interesting. So contributors is a role which enables us to decentralize the whole network. Meaning Dennis, who currently sits in Berlin, he can actually contribute to the network. He can actually contribute by indexing or labeling data. So you can actually tell us if this is an NFT, if this is a gaming contract, if this is a money laundered wallet, if this is a wash trade NFT, or if this is a exchange, if this address is from Kraken or Coinbase, you can do that and you can get rewarded for that. And that's where I see this getting stronger and stronger. So we are live since what, the last quarter, 3 months, and within this 3 months we have like 400 plus contributors, meaning anybody with a wallet, anybody with just a MetaMask and some weaker tokens can actually come and contribute to the protocol, right? And some of the customers that we have DAP Radar as a customer. DAP Radar, I assume people know DAP Radar. It's one of the uh, really good, again, project teams out there. And DAP Radar, they provide data all around, right? And they use Bitcoin's data since last year, since mid of, I believe beginning of last year. And that's the beauty of decentralized data. Anyone can build on top of what we build, and the goal is we build on top of what others have built. So that enables a cohesive and a collaborative network effect. So, so what data that we have in store for NFTs? Maybe we can have a look at some of those. Right? So we look at what are the whales making. I'm sure people in the space know whales, whales and sharks who actually own a lot of assets, who actually dictate terms in certain assets, right? So we keep track of those assets. We tell you what are the impacts of wash trades. Right? Anyone is aware of the term wash trade, for instance? Anyone knows what is wash trade? Yes, DYOR by Hitesh. So nodes, I mean nodes, there is a lot of, okay, is there a background noise now? I just switch.
Oh, I think there's somebody else talking in that room also, Vijay. So I think that their voice is also coming on.
It is still coming on, or
No, it's not coming on anymore. No.
okay. I mean, if it is still coming on, but yeah, nonetheless. So we is it still coming on? Okay.
Is
So
somebody else talking in the room or in the meeting? Somebody else have a just a minute, let me check.
Okay. So I mean, we provide. I mean, if the noise is a bit louder, let me know. Maybe.
Yeah, there's somebody else talking in the room so that we can hear him talk. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a,
Is it better now, or is it still?
no, I think you can continue. Maybe you would speak slightly louder so that we can.
Okay.
That is-
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, there is a background. Somebody else is talking in the room or something. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Why telling them, but I guess the mic is speaking time. So usually it doesn't, but I'm not sure why. Give me a couple more minutes and see if it
Yeah,
is
sure. Okay,
fine.
we can. We can.
I'll just talk loudly. I can just talk louder.
Yeah, yeah. Please talk louder. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So we look into various aspects. Like, looking into wash trades, looking into collection level, NFT level information is something that as a gaming, as a data company that we provide. And when it comes to gaming data, like if Web2 companies, if you look at Web2 companies, Microsoft will not share its data to other gaming companies like PS4, PS3. It will not share the data to Xbox companies. But in Web3, that is different. People can actually look into data where they can actually see which wallets are playing which games and what are the assets people buy into blockchain, and what is the amount of time people spend on blockchain. So these are things that people uh, do on blockchain, which is actually a good thing in blockchain, where people can get data across chains. So people can see if this particular wallet is an ETH maxi or a Solana maxi, or if they love playing action games or adventure games and so on, right? So these are things that as a data company that we provide, but I also wanted to show what others are also doing, right? Not just talk about what we are building, but rather want to show what others are also contributing in the space. So if you look at Covalent Network, that is also something that I really like because I have seen them right from the beginning, right from day one. They are also one of the biggest contributors of data layer, right? And one of the biggest things with Covalent is they have indexed 200 plus chains, which is impeccable, right? I'm not sure if people are even remembering more than 10 chains, but they have indexed 200 plus chains. So this is something that the world needs, the blockchain needs, because the more and more chains, the more and more protocols, we actually need protocols and resources to decode, right? And then if you look at Covalent Network, it is being run by node operators from 25 countries. That is actually impeccable, right? I mean, you can run nodes from wherever you are, and you can contribute to the data network where people can get data. So that is what Covalent is doing. But what we are trying to be in a space is we are trying to be the chain analysis of the world, where we want to see what is the good versus what is the bad. Right? We want to segregate the good actors versus the bad actors in the space. So if you look at chain analysis, it's an 8-year-old company from the US, from the West, and they always work with some of the big institutions, with Mastercards, visas, and the governments of Germany, US, and so on. So we are looking to be that sort of thing. And like a couple of people on the call initially said, there is also Dune analytics, right? This is more of a little tech savvy, right? You have to know SQL, you have to know SQL language. Uh, People can actually build amazing charts. This simplifies this. This actually lets you build whatever charts you prefer, right? If you want to see what are the number of uh, traders, active traders on particular protocol, you can actually build it. So this is what Dune enables, and there is actually Nansen, which is also doing an impeccable job. They also have signals, right? Smart money. They call it smart money, which is something that I really like about Nansen. They provide signals where the money is actually flowing from one protocol to other protocol, where there is hack happening, and there is Arkham intelligence. So data has come a long way, if you ask me. If you see the whole data narrative, uh, eh, if at all there is a hall of fame for uh, crypto, I would say I would ideally want data companies right up there, like the Fortune 500 companies right now. If you look at the Googles and the Metas and the Microsofts of the world ruling the Fortune 500 companies, I assume it will be the case in blockchain in a few years. You never know when uh, the time will come. Eventually, it will, in my opinion. It could be one of these that I showed. Arkham is another amazing team that is delivering constantly. So Arkham, Nansen, I wish to see BitScrunch, obviously, as a founder and CEO. I would love to see us right up there. But there are other data players as well. So data has been the spotlight, especially during the bull, right? During the bull, everybody needs data. Everybody relies heavily on data. In the bear market, people hardly look at data because I mean, who would love to see the data when every token, every investment is dipping, right? So right now, not a lot of data protocols are talked about widely in the market, but I would say it's mostly because of the market conditions. But the market is obviously set to flip at a certain point. Uh, and that is when I strongly believe data layers, data networks, data entities will also pick it up, right? So AI, where does AI come into play now? Right? We have a lot of data layers, we have a lot of data protocols out there, but where does AI stand and where does AI weigh heavily in terms of blockchain landscape? But before we go there, do you have any questions, any remarks of what you would like to hear from me over the next few minutes?
Yeah, if anyone has a question, they can either put them in the chat or they could ask
Yes,
directly by
yes.
unmuting themselves and ask the question directly with us.
Mhm. And excuse me for the noise here.
No worries.
Apologies. Because ETHCC Brussels was not in the original plans, especially this day, because today is not ETHCC day. But then I had some back-to-back meetings. So yeah.
I think one of the areas which probably would love to have you cover is basically how exactly can a fresh startup who is working in this space how
Yes.
can they leverage both the intersection of data that they already have or that is freely available in the public space in the blockchain, and how can they use that, and how can they use an AI layer on top of it or below it to
Okay.
create or for their own Web3 success, for own growth. So if you can probably put some light on that
Okay.
aspect as well.
Yeah. So for any new startups, any new companies who are trying to build out there, I mean, obviously, if you need any data, if you need any network, you can obviously contact all of these data layers, right? Not just the BitScrunch. I mean, obviously, if you contact BitScrunch, it is obviously well and good. We provide data for startups for free of cost. That is something that I would love to stress here. So if you would love to show some insights on what you are building, let's say the amount of volume, the amount of traders, the amount of uh, assets that you are currently catering to. These data, you can actually show it to your customers, right? That is something that you can get from BitScrunch, get from any other data protocols. It doesn't have to be BitScrunch. You can actually get in touch with Nansen, Bjorn, chain analysis, or elliptic. These are something that you can actually get. And you, in my opinion, you should actually give a little weightage to data as well, because in this digital era, people love to see insights, right? Rather than them going to sort of these data layers. Like let's say if they go to Bune or Nansen to build some analytics around what you are building, it's actually a workaround for them. But rather, what you can actually do is, even at the initial stages, all of these data companies, they provide APIs. They provide plug and play APIs right away, right? You can actually, uh, oh, okay. So, so Abhishek is one of the first companies using our APIs. So good to have, yeah. So NFT, FM is obviously one of the really good firms that is using our APIs. So yes, like Abhishek and team, you can actually go and get our APIs. Go to BitScrunch, Dune, Nansen. I'm not sure chain analysis is cheap. Chain analysis is accessible. Even elliptic is also accessible, and it's also high cost involved. And that is where you can actually go for this the newer and the smaller data players, right? I mean, no offense to the smaller data players. That also includes BitScrunch as well. But obviously we are building from the scratch. So there are a lot of APIs that you can explore. So maybe I can also share how companies can leverage APIs. Right? So maybe if you can go to docs.bitscrunch.com, that is where you can actually have a look at what are the different ways you can contribute to the protocol by operating, delegating, contributing to the network, and querying to the network. And if you want to use the data as it is, you can actually go to the B2C platform that we have built, right? You can actually go there, go to the API reference points, API endpoints. So for any team, obviously you will have few tech guys in there, right? Even as a startup, you will have a few people out there who knows coding, who does coding, and they can obviously try it out. They can actually go make use of these APIs. You can actually request for API keys, and I believe it is as simple for your coders. And today, as I mentioned, we have 5 chains indexed right now. We provide NFTs, we provide collection level metrics, and we provide wallet metrics. Let's say if you want to segregate wallets that are playing, let's say, Clash of Clans or Call of Duty or PUBG, you can actually do that for Web3. Right? You can profile the wallets by addresses. You can actually profile the wallets by particular gaming style. If you want to segregate adventure gamers or action gamers, you can actually do that. So these are some of the things that we do, and we also uh, provide brand IP protection. So it's these are APIs from BitScrunch, but then there are so many APIs from so many other brands which you can also leverage. Okay. Any other questions?
I would probably want to, highlight a few facts that have come of late, uh, Vijay, is I think one of the areas where people normally talk about is the ethics and the biases that an AI can have over over the these are called algorithmic biases. Okay, I mean I think probably one area where everyone is concerned about. Now let's assume that you have a blockchain data available, say the wallet addresses and everything. What kind of biases can the AI generate which can harm the the business that you are working in? Is there something that you can highlight for?
Hmm. I mean, every coin has two sides, right? So people can actually build amazing things, good things, and also bad things. Right? So AI, I would say it's still like a baby crawling, doing some cute little things right now as a baby, but then it needs time to mature. It needs time to actually get up, stand, walk, and then run, right? So ideally, I would say it's up to the uh, end user, it's up to the people, and to an extent, a framework, right, where we need to draw a line. We need to draw a line between the good and the bad, right? We cannot just make use of AI in whatever ways we wish, because that would actually end up in a mess, which we have seen, of course, in the Web2 world. That there were applications that were chaotic, that were a mess. So, uh, building on an ethical side, it's all about teaching the computer, right? AI, artificial intelligence. So we actually teach computer what to do. So that is where humans, as us, we need to be smart in picking what needs to be trained, right? If you feed bad things to the computer, then obviously it becomes worse, from bad to worse and to worst. And that is in our hands. And to an extent, there will be frameworks. We have seen WorldCoin being banned in a lot of countries. We have seen ChatGPTs being banned in a lot of countries when it was launched. And the lift is getting lifted in some of the countries as we process. So obviously, at the beginning, everything is looked upon, right? And there is no good or a bad in the initial days, because it's also humans' perception, right? Something that is good for me might look bad for you, and something that looks good for you might look bad for me. So it's always the case where there has to be certain regulations or framework from someone. It shouldn't be the government, right? Per se, that could be um, a blockchain council, or a committee which will evolve, I believe, right? Because at the end of the day, data firms can be to an extreme, right? Right now, we are collecting all the data of end users. That we don't really know who is who. Arkham does that. Arkham actually tags particular assets, particular entities. Even they provide the German entities selling all the bitcoins, right? So you can also do that to an extreme, which looks fun the outside, but it can be chaotic as well. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't give you that anonymity, right? I mean, Web3 is all about that anonymity. And at the end of the day, if you tag along German government, you are tracking every now and then there is no point in being anonymous, right? That is the whole Web3 ethos. So we need to pick and choose. And I believe as an end user, we can decide which wallets we can use for gaming, which wallets we can use for NFTs, which wallet we can use for purchases. It's like cards, right? How many cards we all have? I'm sure every one of us have multiple cards. I have a card in HDFC Bank. I have a card in Canada Bank when I come to India. Same in Germany. I have a Deutsche Bank card. I have a different Mastercard and Visa cards. So we need to decide, we need to pick and choose which wallets we want to disclose, which wallets we want to restrict, right? That is in our hands as an end user. But yeah, it's a cat and the mouse thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Does anybody else have a question? Vijay, is there anything else that you want to cover today, or do you want to cover anything else?
I basically want to touch upon the data landscape.
Yeah,
I
please,
just
please.
don't
Yeah, yeah.
simply want to show the BitScrunch network itself. That is why I was showing covalent, the world of Nance and Dune and chain analysis as well, because I want people to understand the wealth of data that we have in the current market. Right? I don't want to bore people with BitScrunch or NFT data. That's why I kept it open. So if anyone wants to know any particular topic, any particular data, happy to share that because we are also uh,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
beyond
yeah.
30
So the
minutes.
participants who is there, any question, you
Yeah.
can simply raise your
Any
hand.
question?
There is
Yes,
a
any
raise
questions?
hand option, and you can raise the hand and we can bring you on board and you can talk to him directly as well.
It doesn't have to be data. So
Doesn't have to be data, can also be
yes.
startup because,
Exactly.
he's just now created a
Exactly.
startup, can be on startups, can be on anything else,
Exactly. Some topics might have bored you because I'm sure not all of them are at the same stage. So that could be one who runs for a pre-seed round. There could be someone who have done seed. There could be someone who have done Series A. So I'm speaking to a lot of different audience,
Yeah, yeah,
again
yeah.
from different people, different regions, Dubai, um,
I think
Germany and
we'll do a
India.
masterclass soon on that as well, how to raise money and what are the
Yes,
pitching they do.
how to raise money? Yes, definitely. Yes, I
I
can
think that's one of
definitely.
the areas we can cover and also
Yes,
how to.
yes.
So good.
Because
I think
data is highly generic. Data
yeah,
is
yeah.
very generic, and that's why I want to keep
It's
it
about
open.
using
I
the
don't want.
data that you have in hand for the business that you're working in. And
Exactly.
there are multiple. You said there are multiple sources available. It's how you
Yes,
try to do it.
exactly. Exactly. That's
What
why
kind of?
I kept on showing a lot of data endpoints, like
Mhm.
different JPIs is
Yeah,
one, Dune, Nansen. So with data, people, it's also easy to raise funds. Right? If you
Mhm.
show a few stats right away when the investor comes in on the pitch decks, if you show
yeah,
right on your home screen rather than asking them to go to Dune or Nansen to work around, it's always good. Looks nice, looks good, catchy,
yeah,
and for an angel investor you can actually get a couple of angel checks if you show data points. So as a startup, I would say there are a lot of protocols who provide free data, free
Mhm.
APIs. Make use of it. Dune has a free API, BitScrunch has a free API, Nansen has a free tier, every data company has a free tier. So as a startup, I mean obviously I would assume anyone as a startup would use few API calls in a day or in a month. So you would definitely fall under free category.
So when you talk about data, so there's a lot of data available, Vijay, right? There's a huge amount of
Mhm.
data available in the market on
Yeah.
blockchains and multiple blockchains, right?
Mhm.
What are the
Yep.
different AI tools that an
Mhm.
individual or a startup or a founder or
Mhm.
co-founder can actually use,
Mhm.
or maybe a
Mhm.
product developer can actually
Mhm.
use on
Yep.
top of this data layer that is already available? Is
Mhm.
there anything that has been made
AI.
specifically for
Mhm.
Web3?
Mhm.
Are there
Yeah,
any AI
AI
tools for
tools.
Web3?
AI tools are still at nascent stage, I would say,
Huh?
especially in the three space. Dex tools recently came up with one called Moonshot,
Yeah,
Dex Screener. I mean, Arkham has an AI visualization chart. Bubble Maps is one beautiful visualization tools I missed talking about. They share a lot of data visualization using AI. BitScrunch has a lot of AI components. So there are currently the landscape is a bit scattered. I would advise people to give it a try because nothing is still at a level where we can say it's the Google of that. It's the Microsoft of that. We are still in nascent stages of AI applications in Web3. But these are all the data companies, they have an AI wing. They have AI tools in there because obviously AI is all about data. Only if you have wealth of data, you can actually build AI tools. So follow all the data companies. I'm sure you will have fun using these AI elements.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot of data available. There are tools available. It's just how to bring them all together and be
Exactly.
able to do it.
Yeah.
I think you said that all these companies, in some way, including BlitzCrunch,
Yes.
has that layer
Yes.
in which you can actually contribute well and
Yes.
probably
Yes.
use it for your own startup for your own good as
Yep. And
well.
one thing that
Interesting.
I can say openly here in that pivot, in this session is for anybody who has attended this session or who is willing to listen to this session later on, get in contact with Pivot, get in contact with the Pivot team, Shantanu and team. We will provide data for free without any cost, without you having to sweat. We will provide data free for 3 months. You can make unlimited calls. We will not restrict you to clock, okay, 100 API calls per day. We will not limit you to do that. If you are a Pivot member or Pivot community, I would say we will offer you data for 3 months.
Awesome.
Please contact.
Thank you so much for the offer. I think we will send it out to the entire community. We are slowly building a big community now, Vijay, and I think all the other rest of people who are around. We have been doing this a lot.
I'll tag along the APIs links as well for you so that you can shoot the emails. Let them explore. Let's not. I mean, free has been an abusive word, right? People go for airdrops and free things, but let us push the APIs over email. Let them actually see what is the capability of it, rather than us pushing hard. And I'm sure people will need a data or two after looking into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody needs data to, if not anything, to start their understanding, to do research about their own startup as well. That if my idea makes any sense or not. Okay, for example, somebody working in any other space, they need to extract this data. They need to extract the primary layer of the business that they are doing. That is required, and that is what needs to showcase it to the in a pitch or a pitch deck itself. Right. Great. Thanks, Vijay. I mean, if it's all, we'll probably not take too much time. And guys, you can follow Vijay on multiple areas. And in case anybody has questions, there's still time. We can take up a couple of questions. If not, we will, we'll thank Vijay. And
you can always reach out to me on the socials, or you can reach out to Shantanu and team to get in touch with me. And apologies on the noise. I wasn't expecting to be here, but I don't want to postpone because I understand everybody's time, because now it's what 15 to 20 members, 1 hour time is what close to a day's time. Right? You people have given me 1 day's time, but in spite of all the travel and all the back-to-back meetings, I want to share my knowledge.
I think
whatever that affected the session in between.
No, Vijay, absolutely. I think, thank you for spending time. Had we known that you were probably busy in ECC, we would have probably taken. But I think we will have you for one more session, maybe later on, talking about raising money or pitching, and there's so many things that we can talk about as a mentor as well. And of course, there are people who want to speak to you. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
I can share about raising funds. I can share about raising funds, connecting to VCs, doing pitch and scaling businesses. I can definitely start. Maybe we can have it at the fag end of the session, because by the end of a cohort, the startups would have been much more smarter, and that is when they need those ideas.
And of course, I've also shared our socials. You can always reach out to Vijay on Which Crunch and Vijay Praveen M. He's there. You just search for him on Twitter, you'll get him. Search him from LinkedIn, you'll get him. And he's done some fantastic work. Just go look him up. Thank you, Vijay, for your time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being around with us. I've shared the socials in the group. So in the chat, I'll share them again. There's also an application form, which is, I'm just sharing it once again in the application. This is available for you guys. Please go ahead and, you can take it forward there. And of course, as I said earlier, we're going to do one more. We're going to do 2 masterclass sessions. Okay, 2 masterclass sessions in a month. So that 2 masterclass sessions will be based on multiple different things. Vijay has done on AI this time. The next one is going to be on strategies for building a vision. A vision for everyone in this, a vision framework rather. And this is going to be done with somebody who also spent about 6-7 years in this industry, been around for quite some time. I really appreciate Vijay once again. Thank you so much for being around. And thank you for everyone else for joining in, for being around for all this. We look forward to seeing you again in the next master. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks again for the opportunity. Keep doing.
Thanks, Vijay. Bye-bye. Take care.